Knicks family, what's popping? It's your boy. Nice win by the Knicks tonight. We're going to have a lot to discuss. I'm sure some people are going to say it doesn't matter or tired of seeing the vets and all that good stuff. It is what it is. We're going to talk about it all, man. Nice win by the Knicks. Hopefully you're having a good weekend. Good start to your weekend. Let's get this thing going, man.
That's the G.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks were in Indiana tonight to take on the Pacers, the return of Victor Oladipo. And let's see what happens here. You see, Julius Randle with his first rebound of the night, and Julius Randle was a rebounding machine tonight. The Knicks go up 2-0. Sabonis, that guy right there. That guy is a baller, ladies and gentlemen. Made the All-Star team this year. All right, shout out to Sabonis for that. But the Knicks were ready for this one. No matter what you think, the Knicks were ready. The Pacers come in 35-17. The Knicks come in 13-36. So this is a good win for the Knicks. Sabonis again. Little mid-range jump shot. Knocks that one down. Sabonis on the night. He had 25 points, 8 rebounds. Nice night for Sabonis. Taj Gibson, you see him with the lay-in. 7-4 Knicks. Early on in this one, ladies and gentlemen, Reggie Bullock goes to the cup. Lays it off to Taj Gibson one more time. Taj Gibson on the night. He had 10 points, 7 rebounds. The Knicks played well tonight. They played well defensively. Still some things offensively, but they played well. Marcus Morris knocks down the 3. Marcus Morris was the leader tonight, ladies and gentlemen. After being in the news for all of the wrong reasons, played well tonight. The Knicks up by 10, 14-4. Warren, boom, he knocks that one down. TJ Warren had 5 points, but he went out early after he got hit in the head on a collision. Kadeem Allen, he got some burn tonight. With Elfrid Payton being out due to suspension, Frank Ntilikina, as you see, the Indiana Pacers get the nice alley-oop play to Victor Oladipo. With Frank Ntilikina dealing with a groin injury, Kadeem Allen was called up. Played well tonight. Kadeem Allen knocks one down right there. Kadeem Allen had 6 points on the night. Kadeem Allen played down the stretch too. We'll talk about that. As you see, Bobby Portis go to the basket and lay one in. The Knicks up 26-14 in this one right now. Kevin Knox looking aggressive out there. He got blocked on that one. Come back. Bobby Portis gets the ball to Damian Dotson. Damian Dotson back to Bobby Portis. Bang, puts it in. The Knicks up by 15 at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Knox looking aggressive again. This time he doesn't get it blocked, but he misses the layup. No worries, though. Kevin Knox puts it back in. Kevin Knox had 2 points. He tried to be aggressive. But hey, we'll take what we can get. The Knicks up 17 as the Pacers try to climb back. It's now 35-20. And here we go. The Pacers trying to get some energy out there. Sabonis, pump fake, puts it in. Again, Domantas Sabonis had 25 points and 8 rebounds. Not Dante, ladies and gentlemen. Sabonis again with a nice move over Mitch Robinson. Mitch Robinson having a tough time dealing with Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis is a nice ball player, ladies and gentlemen. A nice ball player. See the Pacers trying to climb back in it, 35-24. And you see Dougie Fresh gets the ball to Sabonis. Kevin Knox to Dennis Smith Jr. Again, Dennis Smith Jr. had to start a nod tonight. Goes to the basket, kicks it to Taj Gibson, who lays it in. 37-26 here in the second quarter. The Knicks fighting, scratching. You know what I'm saying? They gave up a 17-point lead, but they kept biting and nailing and clawing and doing all the things that they needed to do to try to pull this one out. 39-31. Taj Gibson with the ball. He finds Damian Dotson. Damian Dotson was knocking down a few of those baskets, knocking down a couple threes, couple twos there in the first half of the game. Julius Randle, he flies up the floor. Finds Damian Dotson. Bang. Damian Dotson. Like I said, 8 points on the night. 3 for 8 from the floor. It's 2 for 5 from the three-point line. The Pacers sticking around, though. It's 45-33 after that basket by Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon had 8 points and 12 assists on the night. All right, Malcolm Brogdon, again, to the basket, lays it in. I like Malcolm Brogdon, man. He's a guy that, man, if the Knicks would have been able to get Malcolm Brogdon, you know, that really would have helped us at that point guard position. But it didn't happen. Did not happen, as you see. Oladipo knocks one down right there. The Pacers climb back in at 50-39. Miles Turner knocks down a three to continue to pull these guys closer. Ladies and gentlemen, Miles Turner tonight, he had 12 points, 6 rebounds. Taj Gibson, one more time, under the basket, playing like Taj Gibson can at this age. Domantas Sabonis says, I'm going to get it back. Couple of spin moves, couple of fakes. He puts it in. 52-44 here in the third quarter. The Pacers keeping it close, staying with his striking distance. Dennis Smith Jr. finds Julius Randle, who puts in the mid-range jump shots. Julius Randle had a decent night tonight. He didn't shoot great, but he had a decent night. All right, T.J. Warren, he goes in. He lays it off the glass. T.J. Warren, again, he went out early. Maybe with a concussion or something, who knows. I didn't get any reports as to exactly what it was, but he went out early. 54-48, the Pacers keep climbing. They keep coming. Jeremy Lamb advancing the ball up the floor. He takes it all the way coast to coast and lays that one in, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy Lamb had 9 points on the night. Julius Randle pulls it up from the top of the key. He misses, grabs his own rebound, takes it baseline, and puts it in. Julius Randle on the night. He was 5 for 14 from the field. He had 16 points and 18 rebounds, and we needed every one of those rebounds, ladies and gentlemen. The Pacers keep climbing closer. It's 56-53. Julius Randle from the elbow. He goes to the basket and puts it in for 2 more of his 16 points. 58-53, 60-55 now. The Knicks hanging tight as Kadeem Allen finds Mitchell Robinson on the alley-oop. Mitchell Robinson on the night had 4 points, 7 rebounds. Kadeem Allen played 20 minutes tonight, folks, at that point guard spot. Like I said, he played a lot down the stretch at the point guard spot. Mitchell Robinson gets the rebound from Julius Randle's miss, and Marcus Morris knocks down the three. Marcus Morris brought us home tonight. He was 10 for 21 from the field. He was 3 for 7 from the three-point line. He also had 6 rebounds and 28 points. You're going to see in that fourth quarter, Marcus Morris really does bring it home as the Pacers continue to climb closer and closer. 6-point lead for the Knicks. Victor Oladipo tripping his way to the basket, kicks it out, and bam, right there. They cut the lead to 3 on that point. Now you got Malcolm Brogdon faced off on Julius Randle. Not a good matchup, although Julius Randle did cover him a couple times out there and did a decent job, but not that time. 72-71, the Pacers climbing within, and Miles Turner knocks down a 3 to give the Pacers the lead, 74-72. And most of us looked at the game and said, that's it. That's it. It's not going to happen. But Marcus Morris wasn't having it. He goes tripping to the lane, drops that one in. Again, Marcus Morris had 28 points on the night. Dennis Smith Jr. with the whirly-twirly shot. He should have just went straight up with it. He missed it, but Mitch got the rebound and put it back in. Dennis Smith Jr., he pulls that one up. Knocks that one down over Miles Turner. Dennis Smith Jr. again tonight played 27 minutes. He had 6 points. He was 2 for 9 from the field. 78-76 with 8 minutes and 56 seconds left in the game. The Knicks are up. Dennis Smith Jr. with the ball. Pulls it. Goes fading away to the baseline. Knocks that one down. It's 80-76. The Knicks are fighting and clawing not to give this one back, ladies and gentlemen. You see Dougie Fresh knocks down a 3-point shot there. Marcus Morris, he's got the ball with Dougie Fresh on him. Pulls it up. Bam. Knocks that one down. Get used to that name. Well, you're used to the name, but you know what I'm trying to say. Julius Randle almost turns the ball over. Fumbles it. Then he finds Reggie Bullock cutting back door for the layup. Reggie Bullock had 7 points on the night. 4 rebounds. Marcus Morris, one more time. Fade away. Bam. Knocks it down. 86-80. Knicks are up. Marcus Morris, one more time at the top of the key. Pump fake, jab step, pulls it up from the elbow, knocks it down. 88-80, Knicks are up with 1 minute and 45 seconds left in the game. It's looking good. Malcolm Brogdon, he puts in one. Marcus Morris misses. Now the Pacers are on a run. Marcus Morris tries to get it back as he fouls Domantas Sabonis on a dunk. The Pacers close to within 3, ladies and gentlemen. And then Marcus Morris off the pass from Kadeem Allen, a setup play, 90-85 out of the timeout. Julius Randle grabs his 18th rebound right there. And ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks go into Indiana and pull out a good win versus a good team. Maybe they just match up well. Doesn't matter to me. They got the win. You know what I'm saying? That was a good win. A lot of people, people are going to say what they're going to say, but it was a good win by the Knicks. I enjoy the win. I'm not afraid to say that I enjoy the win. Some people are going to say that they didn't enjoy it because they didn't get to see young guys. All that stuff. Cool. I enjoyed it. That's all I care about. 92-85, the Knicks get the win, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at some of the numbers behind this game as we continue to recap the game. The Knicks, 57 rebounds on the night, 18 of them by Julius Randle. Julius Randle's career high is 20. He wasn't able to eclipse that tonight. He had a couple of rebounds stolen from him from some of his teammates, but he got 18 of them. 18 of them that mattered. The Knicks only had 19 assists on the night, 21 assists for the Indiana Pacers, 5 steals for the Knicks, 4 steals for the Pacers. The Knicks had 1 block, the Pacers 1 block. Only 12 turnovers, 11 turnovers for the Pacers, 12 turnovers for the Knicks, 11 for the Pacers. Not bad. Both teams taking care of the basketball. The Knicks only shot 41.5% from the field. The Pacers shot 42.1% from the field. The Pacers also shot 33.3% from 3. All right, one of the nights that the Knicks were able to, stop these guys from shooting 3-point shots. Sometimes they were open shots, but for the most part, they did a good job. And the Knicks only shot 26.9% from the free throw line, from the 3-point line, beyond the arc. The Knicks shot 73.9% from the free throw line, and the Pacers shot 61.9% from the free throw line. All right, points in the paint. Both teams had 34 points in the paint. The Knicks had 19 second chance points. The Pacers had 4 second chance points, and the Knicks had 8 fast break points to the Pacers 5. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the team leaders, Sabonis had 25 for the Pacers. Marcus Morris had 28 for the Knicks. Malcolm Brogdon, he had 12 assists for the Pacers. Dennis Smith Jr. had 6 assists. 1 block by Justin Portis, 1 block by Bobby Portis. And Sabonis led the Pacers with 8 rebounds. And Julius Randle led the Knicks with 18 rebounds. All right, you can see what the starters and what the bench did. The Knicks starters, they scored 67 points. The Knicks bench scores 25 points tonight. The Pacers bench scored 26 points. All right, so look, good game, man. And, the fantasy score player of the game for the Knicks was Julius Randle because he had 18 points and 16 rebounds. And, of course, Domantas Sabonis was the fantasy score leader for the Indiana Pacers. But when it comes down to it, ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Morris, he was the leader for the Knicks tonight. There's no doubt about it. He was the leader for the Knicks tonight. Let's take a minute, look at the remainder of the box scores. All right, and then we'll go ahead and break this down and talk about it. I see my man Guillermo just joined me in the chat. We'll break it down with Guillermo. We'll break it down with you all, and we'll get a good idea of, listen. I asked the question before, over the next 34 games, could the Knicks go 500? Well, once I asked that question, they dropped 2. And then they got one that I didn't expect them to get, that you probably didn't expect them to get. So we'll see what happens from here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at the box scores, and then we'll go ahead and break it down with my man Guillermo. All right, and whoever else decides to join the chat tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Morris for the Knicks. As I said, Marcus Morris had 28 points and 6 rebounds. Julius Randle, he had 16 points and 18 rebounds. Taj Gibson, he had 10 points, 7 rebounds. Reggie Bullock was 7 points. He was only 2 for 7 from the field. And Dennis Smith Jr. had 6 points. He was 2 for 9 from the field. Dennis Smith Jr. also had 6 assists, played 27 minutes. Damian Dotson played 27 minutes. He had 8 points on the night, 3 for 8 from the field, 2 for 5 from the 3-point line. Mitchell Robinson had 4 points. Kadeem Allen played 20 minutes in the backup point guard role because Elfrid Payton is suspended and Frank Ntilikina's got a groin injury. Kadeem Allen had 6 points. Kevin Knox, he only played 13 minutes. He had 2 points. Bobby Portis played 22 minutes. He had 5 points. Wayne Ellington and Alonzo Trier did not play. For the Indiana Pacers, ladies and gentlemen, T.J. Warren, as I said before, T.J. Warren went out with an injury. So he didn't finish the game. Domantas Sabonis led the team with 25 points and 8 rebounds. He also had 2 assists. Miles Turner had 12 points, 6 rebounds. Jeremy Lamb had 9 points, 2 rebounds. Malcolm Brogdon had 8 points. He was 4 for 13 from the field. He also had 7 rebounds and 12 assists. Victor Oladipo came off the bench. He played 22 minutes. He had 7 points. Justin Holiday had 5 points. T.J. McConnell had 4 points. Doug McDermott had 8 points. All right, that's about it for the Indiana Pacers, ladies and gentlemen. So let me get to my man, Guillermo. See what he feels about the game. I do want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I will be on Sportscaster as I cover the Albany Patroons basketball game in the TBL. So don't forget to join me, all right? And I'll make sure that I send out a notification and all that good stuff. But don't forget to join me tomorrow. It should be fun. It should be really fun. We should have a good time with it. Watch some basketball. You know what I mean? Watch some basketball before you get ready to break down and grab those chips and pizza and watch the Super Bowl. All right. Gammo, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Interesting game, man. Excuse me. I saw some good things. I saw some bad things. This is such a weird game. I think one thing that definitely helped us was Oladipo being cold to start the game. I think he went like 0 for 6, 0 for 1 for 7 or something like that to start the game once he came in. First half, again, the Knicks always do this. We always look good coming out first half. I think one thing that we did that was really smart, even though we go to him anyway, was that we use Marcus Morris as Julius Randle as a battering ram against their front court. He went to the line. He was 6 for 8 from the line, but they really didn't have an answer for his strength. And I think that kind of, even though they were coming back slowly, early on when they were coming back, that kind of helped us to kind of negate that. Obviously, we went away from it and we started going more to Marcus Morris. You could say he kind of did his thing. He did miss some shots and then he started to make some again. So he was making them, miss them, and then making them again. I thought our defense in the beginning was really good. Funny enough, I texted you and Isaiah when Knox had like 2 decent plays in the first half, and then of course he messed it up. Me and Isaiah just text each other like, "Oh, of course he messes up." I jinxed it. Once I gave him compliments for like 2 or 3 good plays he had in the first half. He still shot 1 for 7 tonight. So again, it is what it is. DSJ. It's good that he has athleticism back. We're showcasing him right now. I still strongly believe we showcase him. I just don't see it. The shot, he had like 2 or 3 shots tonight. But again, it's like this load up time. He still hasn't really learned how to properly shoot. And there was one play. I know it's nitpicky. I think it was in the 3rd or 4th where Marcus Morris passes him in the wing and then Marcus Morris cut. And DSJ's guy, no one was really holding Marcus Morris. So if he made the quick pass right back to Marcus Morris had a clear lane to the basket. So I forget what happened. I'm not sure if DSJ got fouled or something because I saw them talking after. I don't know if they're talking about it, but it just goes to show me that, those point guard skills are just that vision, the quick pass and quick twitch actions, not necessarily the athleticism itself, but the actions is just not there. So, hopefully they showcase him and kind of trade him off. But overall, look, again, Marcus Morris had one of those nights where, even some shots, you're just like, they're not the worst of shots, but they went in, right? He was hot, so it's kind of like, don't take the ball out of his hands. Again, Julius Randle. I like what Taj Gibson did on the boards. I like what the Knicks did. I don't know how many rebounds we got, but I thought the Knicks were really active on the boards, especially on defensive boards when they start to get hot, especially in the fourth quarter. I like what the Knicks did. I don't know how many rebounds they got, but I was really impressed. I was happy that they're really active on the board. So all in all, it's kind of like a mixed win where it's like you want the younger guys to kind of do well, but it is what it is. A bunch of guys are injured, and look, you're not going to complain when a game plan works against a playoff a contender like the Pacers. So take it for what it's worth. Congrats to the Knicks. It was a good win tonight.
Yeah, and one thing that, of course, I noticed is that down the stretch of the game, Kadeem Allen was on the floor, not Dennis Smith Jr., obviously for his defense.
But what's funny enough, DSJ wasn't the worst on defense. So here's what I have to go back and watch the film, right? But one thing I noticed that the Knicks do, and that hurts us, is that because our big men don't, like Mitchell Robinson, for instance, stays back a lot, right? So it hurts us several ways sometimes, right? When they do like a pick and pass type, or a pick and like a pass and pick kind of thing, where it's like, Turner may have the ball up top, Mitch is in front of him, but then like say Oladipo comes around, gets the ball up top and snatches it, right? And then sometimes because the guy can't switch around, the player will keep going, and maybe Oladipo passes to another guy on the wing. That guy comes around. So overall, you still have a 2-on-3. So many times what I see is that because that initial guy can't get around, he's still trying to get around. And then say whoever's on, just making this up, like say Doug McDermott was a guy that was in a corner that comes around to Oladipo. He gets a ball for Oladipo, and say Oladipo does like a little hedge or whatever to kind of pick that guy coming around.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mitchell Robinson never stepped up, we're always like at a disadvantage. Like I saw one play today. I think it was I think it may have been Oladipo hit the shot. I got to go back and watch, but it was one, and I was like, I'm starting to see that theme, and it's starting to make sense that a lot of times our perimeter defense, it suffers because it's not necessarily the initial pick and pass or pass and pick, whatever, or pick and roll out, whatever we do, is that when the play keeps going, because Mitchell Robinson's not really resetting on anybody, like he's just staying back on the big guy. And sometimes the big guy stays back on the perimeter like a Turner. He could hit the three. Like he hit a three tonight where Mitch Robinson was like waves away from him. That stuff hurts us. So I don't know how they got to do it. Maybe, again, I don't know if Mitch Robinson's still, pensive because of that thing that happened on the Team USA thing where he tried to go out and he got hurt with the knee stuff. But he kind of has to help peak switch or kind of commit and play closer to his guy when that guy's staying up at the perimeter. You're not going to play against the the Drummonds and all these guys who, centers who can't shoot. You're sometimes playing against big men who can kind of space it out and just be a threat out there. Or the plays keep going on the perimeter. You got to have to come out and commit. So that's one thing I looked at, and I'm like, maybe I got to watch some other film and other games to kind of see if that's a trend. And I feel like it is, but I saw that tonight many times. And, because Miles Turner could hit the three, it kind of, reared his ugly head. But he has to come out and help. I mean, I remember the Suns game. I remember the, thank God Baines couldn't hit, anything. But Baines had a lot of open shots, and it was, a lot of it is predicated off of, the dribble drive, little pick here, and then Mitch Robinson gets lost in the sauce. He's not really committing, and then the big man can just space out. So,
right. Yeah. And Mitch that's something he's going to have to learn. He's been doing it all season, especially, in today's NBA when so many guys, so many centers are able to knock down that three. You got to be aware and understand, when you can help. I know I don't know who was I talking to. I think it was Mark. And he was saying that, Mitch is so worried about, or he's forced to stay under the basket because nobody else can help block shots or help rebound. Well, the rebounding thing, I don't really agree with him with. I understand what he's saying about blocking shots, but he's also got to understand, you might want to get the block and try to erase any mistakes, but you got to understand when your guy is out there at the 3-point line, that you've got to be able to, you got to be able to get out there to him. And so, you may not be able to sag in as deep, Let's take a listen to Mike Miller as he, breaks down this game and, what he thought about tonight's game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. All right, you'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. All right, so if you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Get that done right now. All right. And we're going to go ahead and listen to Coach Mike Miller. Let's get it going.
What did you see?
Well, I saw that. I mean, the players knew that. I thought first quarter defense was a big emphasis. Thought we did a really good job starting out, kind of setting the tone. Thought Dennis really did a nice job on the ball. just keeping pressure on the ball handler. And I thought Taj did a great job establishing against Sabonis, who's so difficult to play against. And then we did a good job on the wings getting shooters. They came out and they made a good number of shots in the third quarter. We were able to weather it and kind of hold on. And then we got to the fourth quarter and we were back getting stops again. So it was a great effort. I thought we had contributions from so many different people in so many different ways. The rebounding, we got some stops. So 57 to 34, I think, on the glass. Maybe our best rebounding effort of the year. That goes with the defensive effort.
And Coach, too, just what did you think about the second efforts that you got in this game tonight? I mean, there was a lot of the loose balls and that kind of thing. Your team was really fighting for those.
Well, that's critical for us. We see that sometimes our first shot defense is pretty good, but we don't come up with the ball, whether it be a loose ball, long rebound, short rebound, and we came up with a lot of those tonight and made a huge difference.
Tonight, you're limited in your guard position, but you mentioned Dennis Smith Jr. there. But what else did you see? What other contributions did you get in regards to Kadeem Allen, Damian Dotson, etc.?
I thought it was all positive. Dennis set the tone. Kadeem came in and had a really good first quarter as well, not only making a couple of shots, but just the way he was defending. I thought our play calls were good. I thought we moved the ball around. I thought we really did a good job sharing the game, where guys were in good positions to make plays. And Damian obviously gave us a boost. Reggie got in foul trouble. We were able to weather that the first half and had a good finish. I'm really proud of the guys. Great effort.
Been through a lot the last couple of days. How happy you get
Well, he's been that guy for us that he has stepped up and he's made big plays. He hasn't never backed away from anything. So I think that shows who he is. He's a high character guy, obviously a very talented player. And it's these guys. The big thing is how resilient. I keep talking about that. They keep bouncing back. They keep coming together, and each time they come together, it's a little bit better than the last time. So I was pleased with that for him as well.
Before the game, you said there were three things you were going to work on in practice to get better. I guess shutting out the paint was one of them.
Well, that was part of it. Being able to guard the three-point line as well as being able to guard the paint. So those two things going hand in hand. If we guard the three-point line and they get inside of it, now we have to make plays, and the multiple efforts was a big part of it.
When you see that big lead disappear, I think twice they tied it or took a lead, and Marcus both times answers with a three. What does that mean to have a guy like him who can seem to do that?
It's nice. It's nice. The guys obviously believe in him. He believes in himself. He steps up, makes big plays, and I'll give the guards credit because they were able to set him up, put him in those positions. I thought our screening was good tonight, and it had to be. They're really a solid defensive team.
How much of a test, is it for these guys? The team comes back with a big deficit, and you have to kind of fight for it. How much is that a test for someone?
Well, we've been in those positions before. We talked about coming in. We had a lead at the half. We knew the third quarter. Usually it's at the beginning, and we weathered the first part, and they started making some shots, particularly shooting some threes. Turner got some looks got going at the top, and then some other guys made some shots. So we had to answer. So we were happy to kind of keep that thing in check. But we took a pretty good punch from them.
After this morning you mentioned that you wanted to stick with the starting lineup when Alfred came back. When Dennis plays with that poise and defense, do you have a decision making?
I don't know. Alfred has played really well. I think, I also this morning was talking about the fact that as guys get more playing time, it just strengthens our roster. So I think that's what we have right now. We've strengthened our roster because Dennis now has had several games and chances to play, and he's getting his feet underneath him, and his conditioning's getting better, and he's making some plays. So it made our roster better right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I want to ask you this question. Let's assume, you heard him in that interview talking about Dennis Smith Jr., him getting some playing time. They asked the question about, when Elfrid Payton comes back, what's going to happen? We throw Frank Ntilikina in there. What happens? I mean, for Mike Miller so far, when we look at this point guard spot, He had Elfrid Payton and he had Frank. Because Dennis Smith Jr. was out. Dennis Smith Jr. had, he had a death in the family earlier than he was out with the oblique injury and everything. When Frank Ntilikina comes back, and if neither one of these guys is traded at the deadline, what do you think Mike Miller does? Guillermo, what do you think? What does Mike Miller do?
If no one gets traded at the deadline?
If neither one of these guys get traded at the deadline, and they're all here, they're all healthy, what's he do? What do you think he does? Who gets on the floor?
So I think at the point guard position, I think he's still gonna roll with Peyton, primarily. He's probably gonna, because we have. I mean, we even have Lamar Peters down there. Then you have guys like Kadeem Allen. You have DSJ. I just think DSJ probably gets less minutes. I think he's less a part of the future than, it sounds crazy, than guys like Kadeem, because it's just, I think DSJ, I think they have the number on him. And he's here. Well, he's here for another year, right? So
DSJ,
him and Frank are here for another year, right?
Yeah,
so
his contract is good for another year.
They still might try to build up his value and see how well he can ingratiate himself into the point guard role, right? Learn certain nuances, but I still think it's gonna be Peyton to start off, and then DSJ will probably be the backup. Kadeem will probably be third, obviously. I think with Frank, though, they're probably going to try to play Frank more as a 2, just because he can offer you defense as a 6'7" guard. He can offer you defense against some of the bigger guys, or at least better than what DSJ can do. And I think one thing with Frank is that they're still trying to get him to play a little more off ball and learn, be able to shoot. So I think there's still space for both of them. I probably see less time going to, I don't know, it's tough because Kadeem Allen is like, he's a better consummate backup veteran. But if you're still trying to build trade value for DSJ, I mean, even past the deadline, if he's still here, you can still do that. He's a little bit more healthy. You can have better film on him as a Knicks, front office, whatever. So they still might try to build him up. I don't, so I think they're still going to play him, just because you could play Frank more at the 2, off the bench. And it seems like he has no problem with it. Come and defend, try to hit the shot, still handle the ball at times. It just sucks because I don't know what that might do to. I'm not sure what that might do to Bullock and Dotson, who've been playing. Dotson's been playing relatively well.
Right, Dotson's definitely been playing well.
How many more years? How much time does Dotson have left on his contract?
I think this is Dotson's last year on the contract.
He's 25, so
yeah, I think this is last year, and he's 24, 25 years old.
That's tough, man, because I actually think Dotson, I would like to resign Dotson, even as a backup too, because I think right now, again, confidence, getting more time in, the way he's playing, the way he's shooting, even I don't think he had the craziest game tonight. Let me see his stats. Tonight, Dotson had 8 points, +2, 3 for 8, 2 for 5 from the 3. 2 assists, 1 rebound. He had an okay game, 27 minutes. But again, other games we've seen it where, like I've said, he's played well, gave you 15 points or whatever, and then he sat down the next game or didn't play much next game. So, I'd like to see him here next year. I don't think Frank will probably eat up those minutes, but given those two, I think they're probably still going to play DSJ a lot more, because they're still going to try to trade him in the offseason.
Yeah. So Damian Dotson, he's making $1.6 million this year. He's an unrestricted free agent next year.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's the harm out of all those guys? Think about the past 2 years, all the free agents that we had that we were all talking about. Oh, we're gonna get a draft pick for them, and look where they've gone. You know what I mean? Like Moutier, Vonleh, and honestly, Dotson's probably the only guy that I can think of that I would like to see back on the team, just because what he offers from the 2 role. He can shoot the ball. He can shoot the ball off the dribble. He can dribble drive a little bit. He can not facilitate like a point guard, but he could push the ball. He's not dumb. He's a decent defender. He's a good system player. You know what I mean? So I have absolutely no problem with bringing him back. No. And I don't think he's gonna command a lot from other teams in the NBA during their offseason. So
yeah. So I would love to see Damian Dotson come back. So I hope he continues to get minutes in the lineup. And that's where, when you say they may play Frank Ntilikina at the 2, which I don't disagree with you. They might. I just don't know where do you fit them there? Because, you got Reggie Bullock and you got Damian Dotson, both guys playing well. Reggie Bullock more playing well on the defensive side of the floor. Damian Dotson is playing well on both sides of the floor. The only thing that I can see is if maybe one of those guys you used a little bit more at the 3 and Kevin Knox's minutes get.
Dotson is 6. The only thing is that Dotson is 6'5". He doesn't have the size really to play at the 3 like that unless you were a really, really small lineup that could just shoot the lights out. Frank is 6'7", but he can't really shoot from the 3,
small.
And he's not a slasher like that at 3, so it's kind of tough. And then also when RJ comes back, even I think RJ should take his time.
And you got
so
RJ
it's gonna
coming
be
back. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, bring him back slowly. I don't think he should be playing 30 minutes a night when he gets back. But
yeah, then you got RJ coming back. So we'll see the way that Mike Miller works that out. I know a lot of people still hope that something is going to happen at the trade deadline. I just don't know.
Right.
It's getting closer and closer. We got 5 days, ladies and gentlemen, until we get the trade deadline. And I just don't know if anything is going to happen at the trade deadline. I'm just being honest, with what I see. I don't know if anything is going to happen at the trade deadline. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'll see. Give us a call, ladies and gentlemen, 516-405-2246. I'm going to get to my man Light who just joined us, and Guillermo, I'm going to keep you live, all right?
Cool.
Light, what's going on, man?
What's good with you, man?
I'm good. How you feel about the game tonight?
It's nice to be talking about a win, that's for sure.
Tell me about it. It is.
Man,
nice to be talking about a win.
We don't get these too much, so I'm not even gonna start with anything negative. We're gonna keep it all on the light side of things tonight, because
that's what I'm talking about, man. It's nice to
we get enough dark days, man. So it felt, like I said, it feels good to get a win. We saw some good things. Again, we got a win with another big night. We tend to get wins when one of our guys shows up and gives us 30 plus. It really felt like a team effort. I like the fact that I like the way Kadeem Allen commands the court. I saw him clearing guys out, making sure we set up as best as he could. So I always appreciate that from him. And it makes me sad that he comes up, he does that, and then he goes back down to the G League. And
that's what I was going to ask. Why is it that Kadeem Allen cannot find a constant spot? I'm not saying he's got to be a starter, but a constant spot in the NBA is a backup point guard. Plays good defense.
He's a solid role guy.
Yeah. Why is it that he can't find a constant spot? What is he, 28 years old, 27, 28?
I mean, I think that's the biggest linchpin. I think you just hit the nail on the head, is that the age. It makes people say, well, I mean, yeah, he's good, but you still want to evaluate and see if you can get more out of other guys that maybe have more upside because of their youth.
Right.
But honestly, it's because he's involved in our franchise. We don't have forward thinkers. We don't have people who look at the big pictures. We don't look at the big picture. It's all very short term, very, what can he do for me now? It's not sexy to have Kadeem Allen up there. And It doesn't make sense to me because he's effective.
He's very effective.
There were so many times where he slowed down the offense and he got people where they need to be. Mm-hmm. And he helped keep us in an aware place where we tend to get erratic and sporadic. He was like, yo, nah, chill. You go over there, you clear out. There were a few times where I saw our spacing get bad. We would bunch up, and he was telling guys, no, you go over there. You move. Like we getting too close to each other, and defenders capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Well, Light and Sim, remember what the front office, what they're trying to do for the past 2 years. We've been using our team, for all these machinations, right? Whether it's to get a lower spot, to lose as many games and tank, even though it turned ineffective. And then this year, we're trying to showcase certain players. Because I agree, Kadeem Allen, for some reason, I don't understand why he doesn't get major minutes in terms of being able to set up the offense, get guys in the right position. Because like you said, I've seen him direct guys to get in the right position at times. Control the pace, like tonight, where I forgot where it was in the fourth quarter, but it was really deep, and he came down, controlled the time because he knew that Marcus Morris ball was going to get to him. But Marcus Morris is a type that he'll get in his sets and his triple threat sets by like the 20th second. Like he's not going to be the type of guy all the time to kind of be like, all right, let me get it down to 11 and then get in my set because I don't want to give this other team any time. So, Kadeem Allen to me, like you said, consummate professional. But what happens with a lot of veteran guys in NBA is like, it's just opportunity, man. And it's like there's so many of them. It's as crazy as it sounds. It seems like there's so many of them that it's like some guys just fall on the radar because Kadeem Allen could be in China right now, or Kadeem Allen could be with a contender right now as a backup. Like it's weird. I don't know why it works that way, but a lot of these guys just fall by the wayside for some reason until maybe a team is looking for them, whatever, because he should be getting more minutes than TSJ. He should be getting more minutes than even Frank, sometimes even Peyton. You know what I mean? Kadeem Allen doesn't get flustered. We saw even last year, there were times when people called for him to be the starting point guard because he was playing a consummate role. He was scoring when he needed to score. He was doing well. You know what I mean? DSJ still dribbles it out sometimes. He fakes like he's going to shoot. He ain't going to shoot. And it's like no one falls for it. But Kadeem Allen, at the very least, at a base level, keeps himself as a threat to be able to do all those things. I don't know. It's just,
I don't know. It is something, to wonder, what Kadeem Allen is going to do. Right now, he's on a 2-way contract for at least this year. I don't know if it's 2 years or not. You remember, Kenny Wooten signed a 2-year deal. Right, he signed a 2-year deal. I do not think that Kadeem Allen's contract is a 2-year deal. So the way it is right now, there's not a team, no other team can even try to make a play for him, right? They can't make a play for him or anything like that. If he was just a regular guy in the G League, other teams could, try to pull him up and make a play for him. Now, of course, he came from where? Boston, right? He used to play for Boston, or he was in their G League system. Now he's with the Knicks. We'll see. I mean, the thing is this. I'm going to be honest with you. I remember in the Summer League, I was like, man, they might waive Kadeem Allen and bring in someone else because he didn't play well in the Summer League at all.
True.
But he's been able to, provide a few valuable minutes here and there for the team. I tell you what, when I watch him, I went to watch the Westchester Knicks play, and I want to talk about them a little bit later. I went to watch the Westchester Knicks play, and he ran the show. I mean, he was the guy as far as, making the team run and making the team go and controlling the tempo and all that stuff. He was definitely the guy. Let me get to a couple of phone calls, and I'm gonna get back to you guys. All right.
all right,
Caller,
cool.
you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping, man?
What's going on, Sam? This is Jermaine.
good, right?
I'm calling.
What's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
Everything's well. It was a good night tonight, man. We got to win. We're undefeated in February. I'll take it.
I take it, right? We got to win. Listen, we got how many wins we got now? 14 wins?
I want to say 13.
I think we came into the game 13-36. I thought. Let me check the standings.
No, you're right. You're right. It is 14. It's 14.
We got 14 wins, so we're 3 wins away from 17. All right, so looking at what we do, man. Looking at what we do, how many wins above 17 do we get? And at what point do you say, I'm asking you, at what point do you call it progress from last season?
Honestly, I want to say progress when we reach the 25 win mark. It'd be great if we can get in the 30s. I mean, I'm probably reaching right now, but I say anything above 25 is cool.
Anything above 25, you'll call it progress. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to take a look at the schedule a little bit later on, and we'll see if that's, if that's possible for us. But you say anything over 25 is progress.
Yes.
We'll see if we get there.
Absolutely. Can I just make one comment, though?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to just really say that I don't know if it's me, but tonight's game was kind of like a vintage 90s Knicks Pacers game, that we had to really kind of grit out to win. I mean, even though, the defense showed up and everything, and it was a good win. It really was.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed tonight's game. The only thing that I'll say about the way that the Knicks play, the way that this team plays is, at least the way that they've been playing, over the past few weeks. They've been playing good defense. They didn't play good defense against Memphis, but for the most part, they've been playing good defense. But they can't score the basketball. That's not going to get it in today's NBA. You got to be able to score the ball in today's NBA. You know what I'm saying? Because, you just got to. It's not going to be every night that you can hold a team to 85 points. You know what I mean?
That's true. You're right about that. Yeah, definitely.
But
also, one thing that I want to actually point out too, with tonight's game, late in the fourth quarter, we shot a little too much behind the 3-point line. I felt like we shot too many threes. That's the only thing that I can really say. But once we got back to, shooting mid-range and going to the cup, I think we really, really locked them up and got the win. That of course, with Marcus Morris, taking over.
Said in the fourth quarter, you thought we shot too many threes in the fourth quarter?
Like the third, fourth quarter, yeah. We shot for a while, we were shooting way too many threes. But I was like, okay, we need to stop taking threes, get back to, that mid-range inside game. Once we got to doing that, I think that's really, what got us to win, along with our defense, too.
Now, one thing that I'm noticing that the Knicks are shooting less and less three-pointers. We shot 26 three-pointers tonight. Overall, we're shooting less and less. Because we don't shoot a great percentage, I think that's the reason we're shooting less and less. And we understand that our strength is inside when you got guys like Julius Randle that's big and strong. Mid-range, Marcus Morris can knock down that mid-range shot. You know what I mean? But part of that problem, though, is that, we're strong inside. And Marcus Morris can knock down the mid-range and stuff like that. But other teams are knocking down threes, too. You know what I'm saying? And jacking up a lot of threes, even if they're shooting them at a poor percentage. Sometimes, a team might shoot 30%, but if they shot 50 threes, they still might be making 15 of them or whatever it is. You know what I mean? That's 45 points right there. So, that might be, that's part of the reason I think that we're not, we don't score. Obviously, there's a lot of other technical issues, when you talk about spacing and cutting to the basket and guys holding the ball too long and some of those things. But we got to find a way to put some points on the board, because if we're going to continue to score less than 100 points a game, then you got to hold defenses to, you got to hold offenses to, 95 points, 90, 95 points. And that's going to be tough to do in today's NBA. But today's game,
I see your logic and you play behind that. That's so true. Yeah, man. Yeah.
But tonight's game did look like one of those Knicks Pacers 90s battles, though. You know what I'm saying? And it was a good, strong physical game. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to. Being a diehard Knicks fan, you have to. I loved it. I really did. I'm not gonna lie to you. I came into the to the night. I'm like, okay, hopefully we can get this win. I don't know. Alfred Payton's out. We're kind of really, it's been kind of slim at the point guard position. So, but we actually pulled through with it. I'm very excited and well pleased with tonight's effort. I really am.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Me too. I appreciate the call, bro.
Thank you, Tim, man. Shout out to the chat and everybody, man. Have a good night.
You too, man. All right, have a good one. Peace.
Peace.
All right, let me get to another call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Yo, Sim, how you doing, my man? How's everything,
I'm good, man. How you feeling, man?
Pretty good. Man, that was a good game tonight, man. Our defense was great, especially what they did against Brogdon and Oladipo. I thought Brogdon, obviously I don't care about the pace, but for a point guard, I never realized it, he's very unathletic. Like, I saw a lot of times he couldn't, break down the defense at all. It was,
Yeah. I don't think Brogdon is.
It was weird,
Yeah, but I don't think the Pacers brought him in to be athletic. I think they brought him in to be, a guy that runs the show.
Yeah. He's been great, obviously. Oladipo was rough. I think, what was it, his second game back? So, he was off tonight. So, but I think Dennis Smith, man, he played. Obviously his numbers weren't great, but he made some good passes. I think his defense was low-key, very good tonight, I got to say. His defense was pretty good tonight.
Yeah, the defense was definitely pretty good tonight.
Yeah, but can I just say one point, you actually brought up, but basically what I wanted to say was, it's a great win, don't get me wrong, but, when we don't win with the young kids, really, like, I don't know, these wins, maybe it's just me, but these type of wins don't excite me that much. Just like, because we're winning because of Morris and Randall. Like, I want to win a game because of, Knox and, Mitch. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to see those kids get better. And, like Knox, his confidence is just shot. When he misses a shot, like, his head is down. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if he has it. Like, you got to get his confidence up, man, somehow,
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's got to get his confidence up. You got to start with some small goals with him. I don't know, how much, what they're talking with him and stuff like that. Mike Miller is a developmental guy. That's what he does. So hopefully he's going to try to find a way to develop him. Listen, I'm going to tell you what.
Yeah.
If you listen to Mike Miller in his practice interview yesterday, and last night I did a show last night. Just some Knicks news and updates, and they asked Mike Miller about playing the young guys. After the trade deadline, do you plan to play the young guys? And his response was basically, we haven't gotten that far yet. We're taking this thing day by day, and I'm planning on going the way that I've been going. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, I mean, if they don't trade any of these guys, I don't know if they're ever really going to get the minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who says Morris is going to be gone and, Porter, we don't know that for sure.
Well, listen, and if you look at that show last night, the Knicks and Marcus Morris, as far as reports are concerned, have mutual interest in Marcus Morris coming back next season. Right. So, I mean.
Would you be in favor of that? And what type of contract? Like, what is he, 30? Like, I would be fine giving him like 3 years and like low 40s. You think that's fair?
I think his cap hold is $18 million a year. His cap hold for next summer is $18 million. He's gonna want to raise. Like, if you say in 3 years, $40 million, right? Low 40s, well, then that's less money than he's making this year. He's probably going to want to raise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, he's going to make more, like, over the term. You know what I mean? It may be less per year, but he'll make more than, like, what he made this year altogether. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, maybe he'll get 3 for, like, 40 instead of, 15. Yeah, he'll probably, triple it about.
Yeah, I get that. And we'll see, if that is the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he was smart because, he could have took 2 years and then, he would be in that great free agent class. Instead, he took the one where this class is weak. So maybe he'll get, a nice contract. It's a smart move by him for sure.
I mean, listen, according to Ian Begley, and of course you guys have seen this. Some of you guys have seen this already. According to Ian Begley, teams in touch with the Knicks recently came away with the impression that the New York Knicks and Marcus Morris have strong mutual interest in reaching a free agent agreement this summer. All right, so you guys might want to get used to Marcus Morris being
try
here.
And maybe increase his value, maybe by making it seem like this, or you think this is really what they want to do?
I mean, it could be a ploy for them to try to, get teams to increase what they offer for him. But I'm just gonna say this: get used to the guy being here. Right, just get used to the guy being here and see how I'm not going to say see how they build around Marcus Morris. See if they try to use him as a guy that gives us some stability and a platform to step on.
Right.
That's what if they end up keeping Marcus Morris, that's the idea. That's the theory behind it. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see. But hey, I want to listen to Marcus Morris right now. All right. Want to take a listen to what Marcus Morris has to say after this game. All right. So, my man, I appreciate the call. All right.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good night, bro. Thank you, man.
Have a good night. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Marcus Morris. Let's take a listen.
Thanks, Bill. Marcus, before we even get into the X's and the O's of this game, just describe the resolve to me after being up 17 earlier in this game. You find yourself yourself up just 1 to start that fourth quarter?
We had to have our energy up. We defended one of our best defensive games of all season. We held them to 85 points in 4 quarters. A great team in the East, and we played well. Our teammates was moving the ball, and guys were making shots, and we stayed relentless.
You're saying one of the best defensive efforts, of course. 11 points for the Pacers in the first quarter.
Well, I guess we'll come back to that after it buffers, ladies and gentlemen. We'll come back to it after it buffers. We'll come back to it and finish listening to this Marcus Morris interview. All right. In the meantime, I'll get you another phone call. Caller, you're on live with NothinButKnicks. What's popping?
Sam, you don't understand, man. You don't understand. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm good. Shout out to Knicks family. I've been watching y'all for a long time. Y'all doing a good job. I'm a Knicks family. Oh, man. I'm from New York, but I live in Pennsylvania. I got a couple of things I want to say real quick.
All right. Go ahead. Shoot, bro.
I think we should keep DSJ. I really do. Because I think he could be the X factor next year. I know he's not doing nothing now, but I think his confidence was broke earlier this year. And I think that, maybe this summer, if certain people on this team stick together, there'll be a great team. I think we really could make it to the playoffs next year.
Okay, so who are those certain people?
Okay, I want to keep DSJ. I want to keep Knox. They not playing Knox the way they supposed to. Mike Miller is a good coach, but I think the front office is not letting him do what he want to do. Tonight's game, I watched every game this year, every game, and I see this game right here proves that this team right here, with certain people off, could be good. Portis, he got to go. He got to go. Ellington, we don't need him. He's just a body there that's taking up a seat, taking up money. We need certain people, and I hear you a lot saying Wooten. I like Wooten. We never should have let him go to the D League. I think we should have kept him and let him develop instead of picking up one of these guys. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I hear what you're saying, but I think Wooten needed some time in the G League. You still need some time in the G League to develop his game, especially his offensive game. He's got a lot of work. There's actually players on the G League team on the Westchester Knicks that are more valuable to the Westchester Knicks than Kenny Wooten. You know what I'm saying? So he needs some time still, which is cool. But he needs some time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But
all right, I wanted to ask you a question.
All right.
I know you say this a lot. I don't trust these people. Do you really think they gonna make a move right now? Because I heard you say on Friday, I think, I don't think they're gonna do it. But do you really think they're gonna make a move for Morris? For Morris, because I want to keep Morris.
Do I think I think that they honestly want to keep Marcus Morris.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. That's just my opinion. I think they want to keep Marcus Morris. I feel like Marcus Morris might be around next season. That's my opinion. And a couple things go into it.
I think we should keep Marcus Morris.
Okay. And a couple things go into it. I think that I feel like that the Knicks believe that Marcus Morris has the type of mentality that they want to try to build this team with, right? I think that they believe he has that. And not only does he produce on the court, but he sets that example. He is a team guy. So if you get some better players come in, I don't think Marcus Morris is going to have a problem going to the bench. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to be like, well, I'm the star. I got to do this. I don't feel like it's going to be that way with Marcus Morris. It would be like that way with Marcus Morris.
I thought he still came off the bench. Not to cut you off, but go ahead.
I do believe, and I know everyone points to the Clippers and saying that the Clippers will give up Mo Harkless and whoever else in a first-round pick for Marcus Morris. Maybe they will. I tend to think that it's not that easy, and it wouldn't go down just that easy. You know what I'm saying? And I think that in order for the Knicks to get a first-round pick for Marcus Morris, they're going to have to take on more salary. And I don't think that the Knicks want to take on that salary. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that people should prepare their hearts and their mind for Marcus Morris to be here next season. Now, if he's not and he gets traded and we get a first-round pick, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it. If he stays for the right money, I don't want the Knicks blowing all their money, but, for the right money, I'm cool with that too.
All right, now, I know you got a lot of callers. How about this? What if we give up Marcus, right? Get a first-round pick. Turn around and try to get, is his name Anthony Edwards?
Yeah,
In his place, and move RJ to the small forward, and then we throw in Anthony Edwards.
You said when you mean you throw him, you saying throw him into the lineup. You're saying.
Yeah, like we draft him, we throw him in the lineup, and we see how that works.
Well, I mean,
but next year I want Mitchell. Something got somebody got to help Mitchell.
Listen, Mitch is gonna get there, man. It's his second year in the league. He did not play college basketball, so he got no coaching in college, right? Okay, so let's think about this. With Mitchell Robinson, you look at his height, look at his athleticism. You can almost believe that in high school, there wasn't a whole lot of coaching for Mitchell Robinson in high school, right? This is just my opinion. I could be wrong, right? But there probably wasn't a whole lot of coaching for Mitch in high school. You know, it was kind of like, we're going to lob it to the basket for him. We're going to do some things like that, right? Because he already, he had this talent that nobody else, I can guarantee you, at his level had, right? So you didn't have to do a whole lot of coaching for Mitch at that point, even though there probably should have been. So now he doesn't go to college. He goes to college, but he doesn't play in college. Then he's home for a whole year. Probably not getting much coaching because, whatever his family situation is, I don't know. But probably not getting a lot of coaching. Working on footwork, working on those type of things. He gets drafted. Now he's in the NBA. Doesn't even sniff the G League because of all of his talent and his ability. Right? So now he goes strictly from high school, no coaching, to the NBA. So right now, Mitch is playing off of talent and ability and athleticism, right? Talent and athleticism. That's what he's playing off of. We got to give some time for him to get some experience, to get some seasoning, to get some NBA coaching and learning, some development. You know what I mean? I think he'll get there. I don't want to be down on the kid, man, because he's so young and he's very raw and he's got a long way to go in his career.
Okay, now I'm going to say, when Garnett came in, I don't think excuse me, I don't think Garnett jump shot was the way it was as he came along, but I think Garnett had everything else, and that's how I look at Mitch. But I think as growing up as a Knicks fan, I think we don't have the trainers to basically get our players to that certain point where they basically confident enough, because I think all the confidence is lost because it is nobody training them to say this is what it is, let's go. Force them to the limit. Don't baby the guys, man. This is New York, man.
I feel you. I feel you, man. Nah, I hear you. Hey, my man, I appreciate the call, all right? Thank you for
No
calling in, man.
problem. This
All
is
right, brother.
VR. I'm from the Bronx, but I live in PA.
All right.
I'm happy I talked to you. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all the best, man.
Appreciate you,
I
brother.
love y'all.
Thank you,
Have
man.
a nice night.
Have a good one. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's be patient with Mitch. You know what I'm saying? I think we got this. Hopefully, the buffering is done with this Marcus Morris interview. So let's listen to Marcus Morris. Obviously, a lot of chatter around Marcus Morris and if he's going to continue to be with the Knicks and all that stuff. Let's take a listen.
Thanks, Bill. Marcus, before we even get into the X's and the O's of this game, just describe the resolve to me after being up 17 earlier in this game. You find yourself up just 1 to start that fourth quarter.
We had to have our energy up. We defended one of our best defensive games of all season. We held them to 85 points in 4 quarters. A great team in the East. And, we played well. Our teammates was moving the ball and guys were making shots. And, we stayed relentless.
You're saying one of the best defensive efforts, of course. 11 points for the Pacers in the first quarter, just 14 in the fourth quarter there. But what was the key to that?
Communication. I think Dennis Smith Jr. did a great job coming in and running the team. And also Kadeem Allen coming off. He did a great job of just, hounding the ball, staying, communicating with everybody on the team. And, we did a great job, man. This was a good win for us.
And for you, Marcus, in the fourth quarter there, 12 points. You really put this team on your back. How did you find your spots like that offensively?
Just stayed aggressive. Early on, it wasn't going down for me. And, a couple guys on the bench said, later in the game, it's going to click. And when it clicked, I just kept going and I got hot.
Congrats, Marcus.
Appreciate you.
Guys.
Marcus Morris, ladies and gentlemen, and listen. Like I said, expect Marcus Morris to be here. That's all I want to say to you. Just expect Marcus Morris to be here because I think he probably will. You heard him in that interview there. Just kind of break down the Indiana Pacers and the way that the team is playing defense. And he's a big part of the way the team is playing defense. Right. And now we know night after night, Marcus Morris is not always going to give you 28. He's not that kind of star where he's going to give you, 28 points a night. He gave us 28 points tonight against the Pacers, but he's not going to do that every night, although he is giving us 20 a night. You know what I'm saying? But he's doing it on 40% shooting, 45% shooting from 3, 40% shooting from the field. Right? But he's the best guy that we got in the clutch right now. And that's okay. We wouldn't expect him to be that guy, later on too. If they signed him for, let's say, 3 years, you wouldn't expect them to be that guy. You're hoping that somebody else either steps up, they sign someone, trade for someone, whatever it is. You know what I mean? And I think he'd be willing to take that back seat. But I'm just saying, I think everyone should prepare themselves mentally to have Marcus Morris on his team. That's just my opinion. I do want to get back to asking the question, though. How many wins? I'm going to ask Light. I'm going to ask Guillermo. How many wins would you say that this team has made progress based, looking at last year, the Knicks getting 17 wins. Then with this season, we're 3 wins away from 17. How many wins would you consider it progress for this team? Light, how many wins? Okay. So, okay. So let's say this. Let's say that next year, let's say over the summer, the Knicks kept Marcus Morris. Julius Randle's on a 3-year contract. They kept Julius Randle. They waived Bobby Portis, waived Elfrid Payton, kept Reggie Bullock. Right? Waived Wayne Ellington. Would you consider it progress? So that, 3 of the guys that they signed, they kept. Now, Reggie Bullock he's on a 2-year deal, right? He has, I'm gonna get him. He has a 2-year deal. Reggie Bullock has a 2-year deal. He's $4 million this year. $4 million. Oh, the chat can't hear. Oh, the chat can't hear you. My bad. He has $4 million this year. $4 million next year. Right. So when I asked Light, I'm sorry about that, chat. I asked Light about, how many wins, and basically what he told me is that he's not sure. Well, he doesn't think that we should be, we should base it on wins. Right. That there's other things, other things that would tell us if it's progress or not. So we're talking, basically because so many players could be gone. And thank you, Gamer, for letting me know. So if those 3 guys, Reggie Bullock, Julius Randle, Marcus Morris, they're still here. Right? And then Wayne Ellington, Elfrid Payton,
gone.
Bobby Portis,
gone.
Maybe even Taj Gibson. I wouldn't mind Taj Gibson being here, but let's say they're gone. Right? Is that progress to you?
Is that progress? Yeah. Because I mean, you that shows me that you've evaluated what you had,
okay,
and you said, all right, these were the top performers. These were the guys that fought the hardest, essentially. And yeah, I'm going to keep them. Obviously, we're going to be looking into the draft. We're going to hopefully draft well. We still have RJ sitting and waiting in the wings to do what he's going to do. So yeah, I mean, I would consider that progress because it shows me that you looked at the team and you said, these guys played well. We're going to keep them. And we're going to move forward with our best performers because, like we've said before, we're not going to be able to sign no big-name free agents until we start to show, some solidarity, which we massively dropped the ball on when we fired Fizdale. Not that he was a great coach, but we didn't show an ability to stick to a game plan. The idea was that we were trying to build something. And by firing him in the fashion that we did, not the fact that we fired him, the way that we handled it, the way that we fired him, it showed that we weren't willing to stick to a script. You know what I'm saying? And if we are able to go and hold on to the dudes that performed well for us, it'll be at least one sign that, hey, Fizdale wasn't a good coach, so we pivoted. But look, we evaluated these dudes, and we like what we got moving forward. So yes,
okay.
I would consider that progress.
Okay, all right, and I think I would consider that progress too. And actually, when I look at those players, they could be a piece. They could be parts too. Obviously, you'd have to put a whole lot more around it. And if those guys, Taj Gibson, Elfrid Payton, Bobby Portis, Wayne Ellington, those guys are gone. I mean, you look at how much money that is. That's enough money for you to be able to. You're probably not getting much from this offseason, but that's enough money for if you wanted to try to make a run at Brandon Ingram, although I'm pretty sure New Orleans Pelicans are going to definitely try to re-sign him. But I think, that would be progress because then you can use that money to do whatever you want with, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You can try to absorb somebody's contract. You can see what's out there, see if there's anything, you can trade into that money. There's a lot that you could do with it. So,
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because when you look at last year, all of those guys last year, Mario Hezonja, Emmanuel Mudiay, gone. None of them came back. Not one of them.
Every time we play other teams, I play a little game like we'll spot the Knicks. Hey, he used to play for us.
Right.
He used to play for us. We've been feeding the league for years, man. We like Tyson. Been feeding you for years, like family.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Guillermo, what about you, man?
It's tough, bro, because I think the only progress we're really going to have is if we fire Mills. But that's just, I guess, my evil, cynical side. But I don't know, man, because the wins don't really mean much to me, man. Because, again, like was said, I know you guys have said it. I just can't get over the fact that we're winning now, and we're primarily winning. I mean, only 14 wins, but you're winning now with guys that may not be foundational pieces, right? So yeah, if you resign Morris, obviously gonna have Randall here, things of that nature. But again, that's a lot of ifs, right? I'd feel more comfortable if we were winning with say 3 young guys, where it's like those guys, and I'm not even thinking about trading or getting rid of, or we have to resign or what blah blah. It's like we're winning with 3 guys that we drafted or maybe signed or whatever to relatively long deals, and it's like, all right, we have a style of play, we have a culture, we have a certain mindset. You know what I mean? When we go on and play some of these teams, right, you can literally pinpoint what their style of play, who their go-to guys are, right? Tonight, we play against the Pacers. I know Oladipo's coming back, but obviously Sabonis is like one of the main cogs. He's going to get it in the post. He's going to operate, and they operate from there, right? Him and Miles Turner. Miles Turner plays the defense. They operate through Oladipo, and then now they have a guy, in Warren. It was a T.J. Warren. Is that his name? They have these little pieces that they're adding, these relatively young guys they're drafting or putting together, and you feel like, all right, that's identity. That's what they're going with. Ja Morant, you know what I mean? I know we had the whole thing with Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder is a role player, but you know that Ja Morant is a guy. Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson, and Dylan, the guy from Oregon, is Dylan Brooks. You know what I mean? You can identify what their future is. When I look at this team, regardless of the wins, it's like, what is our foundation? You know what I mean? A bunch of moving parts, front office that really, their plan of getting to the playoffs is not really working. So that means that their mindset, they have to reset for next year because it's just not working. You know what I mean? So I want it to be progress. I swear on my life, but it's like we did so bad last year that literally, I won't say how easy it is, but, and last year there was literally no progress made, no development, nothing besides maybe Mitch a little bit here and Trier a little bit here. But other than that, I look at this team and I don't know the progress. It's not coming from foundational pieces, man. And I don't know if these guys are going to get fired. I don't even know what their mindset is going into the draft. I don't know what they are looking for because it's like, are they going to just go all out and say, just get a point guard? Is there a style of play they want to emulate to say, all right, we need this player because once we start doing more off ball next year or blah, 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 this is the guy we're going with. I still think that Mike Miller's being hamstrung by the front office. So it's like, what is his true style of play? What does he really like to run? Even today's game and early on, I saw guys come to the basket. Second half, we stopped doing that stuff. So it's like, I don't even know what his philosophy, besides maybe getting rid of the ball quicker and playing stronger or quicker on defense. I don't know what his philosophy is. And is that married to the front office per se? So it's tough, man. I don't know.
I mean, I kind of agree with Light that if you look at last year, every single free agent that we signed, done, gone, out of here, right? They have any of them back.
Yep.
If you we signed, I don't know what we signed, 7 free agents this year, right? If you kept 3 of them that you thought were, and they don't even have to be your foundation. Like I'm assuming when you say foundation, you're looking at guys that are your
building blocks. Like say we're winning with like Mitch, RJ, and Knox and Trier, and we were at 20 wins per se, and those are our main contributors. Then I say, hey, yeah, that's progress right there.
But
because last year,
my question is, how do you find out? Like, what if you can't win with those guys though?
And
what if Mike Miller feels
just
like
talking about this right now? If you have a style of play, right? But this is what good GMs and good front officers do, right? And this is why you give them time and leeway. When you have a philosophy that you're going with, right? And everything you're doing is logical. It makes sense. And maybe you just couldn't win with certain guys. Then you keep drafting. Then you keep signing. You keep retooling until it's like, all right, this thing ain't truly going nowhere for the past 7, 8 years. It really is not doing anything. But you had consistency with that same regime. That's all right. It just doesn't work with this regime. But regimes always fail. I mean, regimes always have years where it's like we drafted the wrong guy, we signed the wrong guy, and it didn't work. Let's retool. Let's try at it again. You know what I mean? And I think with the Knicks, it's weird because it's oxymoronic to what I'm saying because I want the front office to be changed. I want to get out of here. But obviously, you can't really see any consistency if you fire them, right? So, again, it may be these guys may never be the ones to win, but you got to give, in theory, I'm not talking about this regime, but in theory, you have to give regimes time to flush that out. Now, if they start doing crazy drafts where they're drafting guys like, some kid from Latvia, or not Latvia, but Slovenia, Maliski.
Right.
Because I know someone's gonna say KP, but if you say you draft some kid, who's the guy? The one who went number 2 to the Pistons. I can't remember his damn name. The big bum. And the Knicks actually had him for a few years. If you draft him over, say Carmelo Anthony, stuff like that, where it's like, all right, this regime is just doing stupid stuff. Then it's like, all right, you get rid of him. But they have to have leeway. If they're doing logical things, they do things the right way. You got to give them time. Look at Donnie Walsh.
So okay,
Donnie Walsh. How many years was he here before we had something brewing until the whole Carmelo Anthony thing?
Okay, so let me ask you this though, right? Because I get, everything you're saying is right, and we don't know. I mean, we know what they said earlier, right? A few years ago when they first came on, that they want, players that are 25 and under, who are gonna, play hard, have the ability to try
athletic.
boom, 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 long, athletic, and all that kind of stuff, right? You looked at, this summer, they brought in how many guys that were 25 and under? Julius Randle, Bobby Portis, Alfred Payton. They brought in those guys that are 25 and under. Taj Gibson is older. Marcus Morris is older. Reggie Bullock is like 28 years old. Okay. But every regime is going to make their mistakes with signings. Okay? Now if you make a long-term signing and you make a mistake, you're really in trouble. But if you make a short-term signing and you make a mistake, you can get out from under it. That's what these guys did. They took some chances on some guys. They made a short, some of these guys ain't going to work out. I feel like if they found some pieces that they feel like, okay, this is something we can add this to the puzzle. We can add that to the puzzle. We can add that to the puzzle going forward.
Can I ask you a question, Sim, on that?
Yeah.
I don't mind that, right? But can you sit here and tell me what is the philosophy of this front office in terms of what type of players they want?
I'm going by what they said when they first started. That's what I just told you. 25 and under, guys that is going to play hard defense.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Guys that's going to play hard defense, that's going to, try to play hard every single night. If you're trying to base things on what they're going to do defensively, you can't tell me that Marcus Morris wouldn't fit into that mold, although he's 30 years old. Reggie Bullock fits into that mold. If that's
Portis
the type of things. Right. But what I'm saying is going into next year, Portis probably be gone. Wayne Ellington,
and that also means
we
also draft too. So Knox doesn't really fit into that. I'm not ishing on Knox, but Knox is a system guy.
But Knox is a young guy that can, Knox is 20 years old.
Athletic, theoretically could stretch the floor.
20 years old.
The idea was to find guys that the whole positionless basketball was the mantra. We were trying to be an up-tempo team. We were trying to increase our tempo. We were trying to promote a defensive first mentality, and we were trying to stretch the floor. That's why we didn't sign a single center. Everybody was like, why did they do that? It was because we wanted the 5 position to be something that moved away from the block. And we knew that with Mitchell is going to be on the block. We know that for at least for the next 2 to 3 years, Mitch is going to be on the block, because he's not comfortable anywhere else. So they tried to get guys that they could move away from the block, but would still give them some semblance of a defensive presence just in size, if nothing else. So the Bobby Portis signing was designed to stretch the floor. The downside is he showed up and couldn't hit his threes. So, what I'm saying? The idea was there. It just it failed in execution.
Is that a scouting thing? Because when I look at guys like Knox, right? The Knicks, long athletic guys, I just don't see. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know. I just don't see that philosophy turning out. And it's like you can't not say they're failing with everybody, but it has to hit significantly with several players, right? So you see it with Mitch. That philosophy in terms of long athletic defend. I see it with Mitch. I get it. R.J. Barrett. I mean, he was a number 2 pick, but you could kind of see those intangibles. Guy who could, he plays hard. He's gonna be able to. He could defend a little bit, and I think he's gonna grow into it. Things of that nature. I can see with certain players, but the free agents they brought in, and then you bring in like Randall. Randall, I'm not sure if he fits that, right? He's not a defensive player. He doesn't necessarily play long per se. Like I don't know. I just feel like I'm not thoroughly convinced by like, when someone says they have a culture, you see them kind of sell out to it, right? So they'll make certain draft picks where it's like, why the hell would you draft him? Why the hell would you sign him as a free agent?
Here's
and
my
it's like,
thing about.
Okay, I get it. And it's like some of these guys, I don't really get that, man.
But okay, so I don't want to confuse. What I don't want to confuse is like with Randall, right? We don't want to confuse the present day with what they did at the signing and whether or not it was a good signing or not. Because everybody agreed, just about, I'm going to say 90% of the people agreed that it was a good signing and that he's a guy that has the potential to go to another level. And then during the season, everybody now wants to turn around and say, that's a terrible signing. Why did they do that? I don't think you can't play it that way. If you felt like it was a good signing, you can't turn around and be like, see, they signed a guy in Randall that doesn't really fit this or doesn't really fit that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the beginning, it was like, okay,
I said that I thought Randall was a good signing. And I'm a little disappointed about how he's played out. But I've also given props when he's done well. So I was one of the guys that thought it was a good signing. But he has to be deployed correctly, if that makes any sense.
So, because you see a lot of people that say they need to trade Randall right now. Do you give him another year at least? Because you can give him another year, and if it doesn't work out before 2021, you can waive him in June of 2021. I mean, I'm giving it another year to say, okay, let's see how this thing can work out. He's averaging what is he averaging? 18 points and probably 10 rebounds now. Another coach, whether it's going to be Mike Miller. I feel like if they keep Reggie Bullock, they keep Marcus Morris, you still got Julius Randle. They keep Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, R.J. Barrett. It would be smart. I don't know if they would do it. It would be smart to see if Mike Miller can start to build something with these guys so you can keep some consistency and some stability. We got to see the way that the rest of the season plays out. If they continue to, get better defensively. Let's see the way the rest of the season plays out. But
I have a question, Sim. If Mike Miller, if we say we got a new front office, right, but they kept Mike Miller, do you think that he would have the security to build what he wants? Like, you think that he would actually coach to try to develop players where it's like, all right, we may not go to playoffs, but we're aiming for 30-something wings?
I would hope.
You think that he would try to coach to win, and we might go back to the same thing where we're playing veterans and
I don't know. I'm just I would think if we got a new front office, that they would probably look at several different candidates, and if they decided that Mike Miller was the guy, then I would think that it would be okay. This is actually their guy then. Not that, that we're just going to keep him until we find somebody. If we got a new front office and they went out and they interviewed a bunch of guys, they decided to keep Mike Miller, I would think that's their guy.
I would think that it means that their philosophies align. That they say, what we want to do is what he wants to do. So there's no point in displacing him for somebody else.
I've just seen regimes even in other sports where it's kind of like we don't want to rock the boat, but he's kind of on a short leash kind of thing, and it's like, all right, we just want to kind of keep continuity until we maybe find a better candidate next year. So I hate that sitting duck status for a coach.
Yeah,
I really think Mike Miller's a decent coach. I regardless of what happens, I hope he gets that leeway because I think what he's doing with his team is decent. It's okay. I think he needs to be allowed to coach the guys he wants to coach and put the guys in the proper rotations that he wants to put, not be forced to play anybody. But I don't know, man. It's too many what ifs for me to feel comfortable like this development overall, man. It's just.
Well, I mean, the only thing I say, and I'm gonna get to a phone call, is a team, they got to take those steps. You win 17 games, maybe you go 25, 26 games next year. Then the year after that, maybe you're at 30 to between 30 and 35. Then the year after that, it goes. You know what I mean? That's part of the process, and part of the process is going to be evaluating talent and trying to pick some talent. Now, I think I agree with Light. If we don't keep any of the guys that we signed, we don't keep any of them, we don't think any of them are worthy, then we probably didn't make any progress because we didn't acquire any more talent that we want to keep. If we keep a couple of those guys and we say these are some pieces, then maybe so. Then we get a draft pick. So I guess we'll have to see, where that takes us, man. But it's a good question. What do you think? What is going to be progress for this season? Now, at this point, with the way we see it now. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate it, man.
You asked the question earlier about whether you thought is it improvement if we win more games. I think it's kind of hard to use that as the barometer, only because we were trying to tank last year, right? And I don't think we're trying to tank right now. And we are playing some more senior players than we were last year. But, I think your assessment, though, is one I think that I certainly agree with, which is, we went to a plan B or a plan C in the summer last time, right? This was not the original plan, right? And I think after a year, if they make the assessment, I think your point is a good one, right? If Mook is a guy we want to keep, right? Or if Bullock is someone who's serviceable for another 2 years or so. If Randall looks like he's a guy you want to keep, well, then you've made a decent assessment, right? And if Portis, let's say, is someone you don't want to keep around, or if it doesn't seem like Ellington is, I just think in that regard, it is a good move. And I think, this isn't going to be done in a year, So it's like this idea, like I'm frustrated as any other Knicks fan is. I mean, what happened with Memphis the other night, those nights, I don't want to see any more nights like that. The Cleveland game we had, Veterans Day weekend, remember that one? The Sacramento game, like I don't want to see those games anymore. Those disgust me as much as they disgust any other Knicks fan. But what I don't understand is what were people expecting with this team this year? I mean, I thought 27 to 32 wins. I don't think they're going to reach that, but I mean, there are some. It's not as I don't know. Maybe I don't know what people were thinking. I mean, I do see a glimmer of hope. They are defending better. You want to minimize that, okay? But they are defending better. As you know, Sim, in the new NBA. The coaches don't have as much time to coach as they used to, right? The part of the CBA is, I think, practices are shorter.
Right.
The way the games are scheduled. Mike Miller hasn't had a summer even to put in, what he wants to do. And your point before on Mitch is dead on. I thought you hit that on the head. No one wants to talk about that. Like, people like, well, the kid can't play in the post. He can't play with his back to the basket. He's in an offensive game. That kid's been jumping over people since he's 7 years old. He has not. It's not like he went to college for 2 or 3 years. Like, it's not as if he played with Juwan Howard at Michigan. He had a big man teaching him footwork, how to play in the post, and he had 3 days of practice between every game like you have in college. This kid was in high school, jumping over everybody there was. He was at home. I don't know what work his agent had him doing in that year off, basically. Who he had him working with. And you're right. He's here. This is a tough place to learn how to develop a post game. It's really tough on the fly in the middle of the season to try to develop that. So he's a kid, and I think he's got, lots of upside. We have to be patient with him. The Knox thing concerns me. I think, again, I think we have to roll with him. But I'm concerned about how he's progressed. But I know I did a lot of talking. I do have a question for you though regarding Morris. And I don't disagree that we should hold on to him. But and I guess the answer would be what's out there for him. But my concern is, and I think he's a good locker room guy. I think you're on the money. But he's 30 years old. He's having a career year. Let's be candid. Will he ever have more value than he has right now? So I'm not saying – I don't know what's out there for him. And I know you're saying we shouldn't be surprised if he's not let go.
All right. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because that's what everyone always says. Is he ever going to have more value than he's going to have now, right? And it's a very, very valid question. I think a very valid question. So my retort to you is this: what do you determine value? Because what if the Knicks determine that, what if the Knicks determine that he has more value to us as someone who can really be influential to our young players, someone who can be that, the main vet that is, really plays the kind of defense that we want him to play, has the mentality that we want our players to have. You know what I'm saying? Is like you've seen him, look, he made a mistake, said, what he said about women, or not about women, but, said, what he said, come right back out and apologizes, admits his mistake, owns up to it. Like, what if his character is more valuable to the players that we have now than a new young draft pick that you're probably going to get towards the bottom of this draft?
No, well, look, at the end of the day, it's an impossible question to answer because you don't know what you're getting in return. Like you said,
right.
If you're telling me that what you're getting is, it depends who that young player is, right? So it's all speculative. So I'm not saying I disagree with you. That's the only thing that just runs through my mind. And I think everything you point out makes sense. It all has value. Of course, how much does he want? How much is he going to want to come back? I mean, that's all part of it, right? So I think it's a difficult question to answer, but I think, you raise excellent points. Look, the fact of the matter is, I agree with you. I listened to him sound after that game today, all right? And, you played those clips from his interview post-game, and I thought, you're right, he sounds like a grown-up. He's positive. I mean, there's a lot of negatives to take from the season. He's positive. Reports are he wants to be here. So, look, I don't think they can make a mistake if they get rid of him for a first-round pick, depending on the nature of the pick. I don't think that's a bad decision. If they hold on to him, there's certain. Again, I'm not in the locker room. I don't know. I only know what I see on TV. But anyway, I don't know. I do think, but back to your original point, though, I just do want to point. I do think that despite the fits and starts, I do think we have begun. The beginning that the ship is starting to turn around. And listen, also to the cats in the chat who are blowing up about the Knicks stink, the Knicks this, stop going to the games. Listen, you know what? That's all cute and all, but if you're a Knicks fan, like I am, like you are, like listen, it's your team. It's who you watch. It's who you root for. You know what I mean? You tell Chicago Cubs fans they didn't win for 80 years. Boston Red Sox fans didn't win for all those years. Kansas City Chiefs fans haven't won for 30 years. You tell them all of a sudden, don't root for your team. It's all nonsense. That noise is between me and you. It's a little bit befuddling. That doesn't mean that you can't criticize your team. Right. But, those of us who've been with the Knicks for 30 years or 40 years, we're not going to just change our team just like that. So I just want to point that out. I do see glimmers of hope. And the last thing is, I do want to see Mills leave. I think he's had enough time. My concern is if Mills goes, then Perry goes. I think Perry deserves more time. And I do think I've seen enough from Mike Miller where I'd love to see him with the team after he's had a full preseason and a full summer league to work with the guys. Tim, thank you for taking my call. All right,
appreciate you, man.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you. And listen, it's not easy to be a GM, man, because that's the question that the Knicks have to weigh in their minds about Marcus Morris, right? Is his value, his character, and those things, is it of more value to the team than a low first-round draft pick? You got it. That's a question that they have to answer. I don't have the answer to it. I don't think any of us really have the answer to that. Because how many of us would be upset? How many of you would be upset if we traded Marcus Morris, got a first-round draft pick for him, got some other players that we ended up waiving, right? Didn't stick around. They drafted a guy in the first round, a low first-round draft pick. That guy plays in the G League for most of his career, never plays in the NBA. Maybe he becomes a two-way or something like that. Well, I mean, if he's a first-round pick, I guess that wouldn't happen. He would get his guaranteed contract, but he never pans out, and then he's gone, and boom. Marcus Morris is somewhere, traded to the Clippers, wins a couple of championships with the Clippers, right? As a valuable bench guy, averaging 15 points and 5 rebounds or something like that. You know what I mean? And adds to them what he could have added to us. And it could go the opposite way, right? Let's be honest. We could keep Marcus Morris, and whoever gets the Clippers pick, or the Clippers have their pick, or whoever draft somebody and they become, this whoever, a really, really good player. It could go either way, but it's what the Knicks have to evaluate. What's his value to the team? You know what I'm saying? Because even a young team needs somebody, and his value could be more than a low second round or low first round draft pick. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. You know what I mean? It's a hard thing to determine with the way the Knicks are right now. Let me get to a phone call, man. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'? What's good with you, bro? How you feeling?
I always feel good when the Knicks get a win.
Yeah, right. Hey, of course. Always feel good the Knicks get a win, right?
You know what I mean? I don't want too much of them for the rest of the year, but I'll take this win. I'll feel good with it, and we'll move from there. I was listening to some of the callers before. Well, not the callers, but the usual brothers in the chat and so forth, and the expectations of some of the guys that we got when we got them. I'm gonna say this because I remember me and you talked when we just signed Randall, and we were talking about Randall and possibly getting D'Lo, which I thought we should have got D'Lo.
I agree with you.
Now, Randall is this, and it's not that I want to be a revisionist, but when I watch Randall play, it's not that Randall is not talented and he works hard. I don't see the IQ going forward, what you need in a total playoff team aspirations. And I said this to you before the last time we spoke. Randall and Morris, them bringing Randall and Morris there, for me, meant that they didn't see the future in Knox. If you trade Morris or Randall, and let's say, for instance, you trade into the Clippers or whatever, and you're getting back Mo Harkless, and Knox is still here, you still don't see the future in Knox, because right now Mo Harkless is gonna ball out over him every day of the week. You see what I'm saying? It's like this team was made so improperly mismatched. It's like, why? Why did you have to spend the money like this? You see what I'm saying? Look at Reggie Bullock and Dotson. Those two guys cancel each other out every time they step on the floor, because why? They're the same player. Hard work, defense, and three. Why did you feel the need to bring in three of the same type of dudes?
I mean, when I look at Reggie Bullock and Damian Dotson, I guess the only answer I have is this, right? Like someone with Damian Dotson, just first of all, he ended the season. He had his shoulder problems and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, Reggie Bullock had his back problem. I don't think when they first signed him, they didn't know about it, and then he had his back problem. With every single player that the Knicks have, here's one of the issue. With every single player that we have, there's question marks. You know what I'm saying? And so, if you're getting players at multiple positions, maybe you have a question about this player. Is he going to be able to do X, Y, and Z? Let's bring in another player that maybe can do X, Y, and Z. Then we'll choose which one we want. Or maybe you do keep both of them and one of them comes off the bench, one of them starts. I don't know. I think it's like a big tryout process from last year to this year and probably for next year. And trying to pick and choose talent and, and put it all together. You know what I'm saying? it's almost like if you've worked on projects in a group, right? And you're trying to figure out what's our vision for the year. Okay, what's our vision? What are we trying to do? Or I'll make it a little bit simpler than just a vision for the year. Let's say you need a name of your project, a good name. And what happens? You start throwing all these ideas up on the wall, right? You throw all these ideas. There's a group of you there. You got 50, 60 different ideas for names. And then you start, I don't like this one. Nope, I don't like this one. These two are kind of like the same. I like this one better. Throw that one out. Let's throw that one out. I like this one. Put this one over here because I think we're going to keep this. We'll talk about this one later. Throw that one out. You know what I'm saying? So, and now you start dwindling it down until you get a good 5 options. And then you start choosing from those 5 options, which one is going to be. And you may start to mix and match and put things together. It's I see it kind of like that right now. They're trying, they're putting in people. We're going to pull this one because this fits what we want to do. This player fits what we want to do. This guy doesn't, so we're going to get rid of him. We'll waive him. We'll waive this one. We'll waive that guy. We'll keep this guy because he fits here. I feel like it's kind of like that process. I just hope that they have an idea of what their philosophy is going to be. If it's what they talked about from the beginning, okay. They kind of talked about the philosophy of the style of player that they wanted to get. If that's what they're still doing, that's what they're doing. But like Guillermo said, what's the philosophy of play as well? You need to know what the philosophy of play is so that you can make sure that those guys, you're getting the right guys to stick. But that's kind of what I see them doing right now, just trying to figure out talent. And bringing in some guys, taking guys that they think is going to fit and be able to go forward with. It's a tough process.
I tried to ride with this management, but I don't think they have a clue. They're winging it. After they made the big trade last year, right, which they pretty much told the world, we're confident we're getting, our intel is telling us we're getting 2 people. The owner came on the radio station, braggadocious. Because this is what my intel is telling me. These are what my people are telling me. We're getting 2 people. Okay? They got no conversations with none of the major people that were out there. None of them. Not even the second-tier people that they get conversations with. The best of the second tier that they got conversation with is Marcus Morris, and they had to get him on a do-dirty, backstabbing type of deal to get him, right? Okay. This is not gumbo. Gumbo is the only thing I know you can throw everything in a pot and it works out good in the very end. This is not gumbo. You need to
I'm not saying throw everything in a pot. See, I did a little bit different. I didn't say throw it all in a pot and it's gonna taste good. I said you put names up on the wall and you throw away what you don't want. A little bit different. I'm not saying that's exactly what they're doing. I'm just saying what I see. I don't know what their strategy is, obviously, because I'm not in there. None of us know what their real strategy is inside that war room. All I can do is speculate.
Do you remember when they had the open workout that day when I think Yermo was manning the controls up at what was it, Columbia, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Kenny Smith came on. I can't remember with whose broadcast he came on with. I think Mills invited him because he was there up front. And Kenny Smith said it right then and there. He said it's not like all these guys don't have talent, but with so many different pieces, multiple pieces that plays the same position, the same way, you're not going to have continuity because you know what? The second and the third guy who's sitting down is thinking, I should be playing. He nailed it right on the head from just watching that one practice. He nailed it on the head, and his so said, so done. That's exactly what has happened.
Okay.
You have too many of the same. Look at, and I killed Randall up and down, but I'm not going to kill him right now. I'm just talking about his style of play. Randall, from the moment the Knicks got Randall, they somehow envisioned him as some kind of point forward. How can he be a point forward if you already got 3-point guards?
Well, I think that was David Fizdale. I don't know if it was the front office. I think it was more David Fizdale because Mike Miller is doing it differently with Randall.
He's doing it differently with Randall. Yes, maybe that was more Fizdale, but front office has to be okay with it because they let him do it. You still have.
Because
Elfrid Payton, you had every other point guard, and you got him trying to be Magic Johnson.
All right, so what do we want the front office to do, right? We got one person, we got some people saying we don't want the front office telling the coach what to do. Now you saying that the front office allowed David Fizdale to do it. Which way are we going? Are we letting the front office? Are we letting the front office let the coach handle it, or what?
It has to be the style of play has to be organizational wide. We're getting these kind of players because as an organization, we want to play like this. It can't be on the fly.
Right. Okay. So then what's the complaint if the front office was telling Mike Miller, we want you to do this because this is our plan going forward, right? We'll complain about that right now, right? If the front office is telling Mike Miller, here's the plan, and Mike Miller is down with the plan, right? They're all in agreement. The front office is hamstringing Mike Miller. David Fizdale, if they have this plan, they should have stopped them from doing it. I mean, which way we having it? You know what I mean? On one hand, we'll complain that the front office is hamstringing Mike Miller, but then on the other hand, we'll complain that the front office should have stopped David Fizdale from doing this, that, and this and that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I agree. In the beginning of the season, or in free agency, you've got to have an idea. The front office and the coaches got to be on one accord, right? Because that's when the front office has to go out and get the kind of players that's going to fit the system and the style that the coach is going to manage. Once you get into the season and you get those players in, you might have visions on how a player works. Right? You have visions. This player can do this. This player can do that. This player can fit this role and that role. Once you actually get in and the chemistry of those players start to come together, whatever that chemistry is, you're going to have to pivot on a few things and change a few things. Some people are going to live up to it. Some people are going to move in a certain way that other players can't work with or can work with. Right? And so you're going to have to make those adjustments. Those things have to be on the coach, not the front office. Once the front office gets the players that the coach that they need to fit their supposed philosophy, then you got to let the coach handle it, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And if it's working, the coach goes with it. If it's not working, then the coach has to say, this ain't working. I got to take it out of there. Without the front office saying, hey, change this. That's my opinion. I think what I'm saying, in the beginning, free agency, the draft, everyone's on one accord. You go out and get the players that the coach needs. Then you let the players do their job, like a chef in the kitchen, right? The chef says to the owners of the restaurant, here's what I need to make my menu. They go out and get the food. They don't step in the kitchen. They let the chef do the work. If the food tastes good, it tastes good. If it don't taste good, it don't taste good. And they gotta handle it. That's why I say it, man. But hey, I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna get on to a couple of things. All right,
family.
Appreciate your call, bro. Appreciate it. Lot, ladies and gentlemen. Lot. Let's talk about this upcoming schedule because we're talking about, what is going to be progress with this team. I do agree with what a lot of people saying. The progress probably isn't going to come in the numbers. Progress is going to come in a lot of different ways. And it's probably not just going to be the numbers. That's one determinant. I'll say that, right? That's probably one determinant, not the overall determinant on whether or not this team has shown progress or not. They've shown some progress tonight, though, getting the win over the Indiana Pacers, which was a very good win. One of the best, in my opinion, one of the best defensive showings of the season. Right? They held the Indiana Pacers to 85 points. And listen, the Indiana Pacers are a team that, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, they've won 30 games already. Right? One of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. Now, they're probably learning how to play with Victor Oladipo. You know what I mean? Which makes sense since Victor Oladipo just came back. Not learning how to play with him, but, he's got to get reacclimated to the team. Only his second game back. All right, but the Knicks pulled off a nice win tonight against the Indiana Pacers. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule, though. What we have coming up over the next few days, this next week. The Knicks are off tomorrow. Monday, they'll play the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland. All right, the Knicks have blown them out, I think, the last 2 times that they played them. So, they better be ready for the Cavaliers to, try to come in and do some things. Let's hope, though, that the Knicks are ready, focused, and they can get that win. All right? See if they can get that win. Then they play Orlando at home, the Orlando Magic. They're a team that I just don't feel like the Knicks match up well with the Orlando Magic. You know what I mean? When we play the Orlando Magic, we usually get beat pretty good. I don't think we match up well, and I'm not looking forward to playing the Orlando Magic. But maybe we can, maybe we can surprise them. Orlando Magic right now, they're in the 8th seed. They're 21-28 on the season. They've lost their last 5 games, though. All right, they've lost their last 5. Coming into this game, Indiana was actually hot, ladies and gentlemen. They were 7-3 in their last 10 games. They lost this one, so they're on a 1-game losing streak. So we'll see. Let's see. The Knicks play the Cleveland Cavaliers, then the Orlando Magic coming up next. Then we play the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons, ladies and gentlemen, they're 17-33 on the season. They've lost their last 5 games. All right. After the Pistons, we play the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks are 13-37. They lost their last game. After the Hawks, we play the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards, they're 17-31. They've won their last 2 games. Then we play the Pacers at home. And the Pacers will be looking for revenge, ladies and gentlemen. So, we have a chance to maybe string together a couple of wins. Right? Again, Cleveland Cavaliers, Orlando Magic, the Detroit Pistons, the Atlanta Hawks, the Washington Wizards, and the Indiana Pacers. All right, so we'll see what happens there. Every time we think we have a chance to string together a couple of wins, we don't live up to it. You know what I'm saying? We don't live up to it, but we'll see if we're going to be able to live up to it. Now, the Knicks are playing good defense. Over the last 5 games, the Knicks have the 12th best defensive rating in the league. All right, that's over the last 5 games. And that's because playing the Memphis Grizzlies, they gave up a lot of points to the Memphis Grizzlies. They did not play well against the Memphis Grizzlies. All right, if you take that game out, defensively, they've done well over the last 5 to 10 games. Right, but you can't take that game out, right? You can't do it in a vacuum. You got to look at all the games. And, against the Memphis Grizzlies, we didn't play well at all. We'll see what happens the next time we play them. And if we're able to, make some changes the next time that we play the Memphis Grizzlies and make it a more competitive game. Mike Miller seems to think that we were kind of right there coming down the stretch of that game, even though it was a 10, 12-point game. And then the Memphis Grizzlies went on a run of hitting three straight 3-point baskets, to really put the game out of reach. I kind of disagree with him, but hey, he's the coach. All right, looking at the defensive rating, the Knicks' defensive rating is 108.9. This is over the last 5 games. And they're actually 11th in the league, not 12th in the league. All right, so that's over the last 5 games. If you go down to the last 10 games, we'll do 7 games, 8 games. All right, we go down to the last 7 games. The Knicks' defensive rating over the last 7 games is 106.3. That's 5th in the league. If you do the last 8 games, the Knicks' defensive rating is 5th in the league again. That's 105.1. skip it to 10 games. The last 10 games, the Knicks defensive rating is 4th in the league at 107.5. Right, so the Knicks defense has been going well, and there was a lot of questions about, whether or not it was because they weren't playing good teams, what were the teams trending, and all that kind of stuff. Well, they played really good defense against the Indiana Pacers, who are a very good team. They didn't play good defense against the Memphis Grizzlies. They played really good defense against the Indiana Pacers, right, who are, like I said, a good team. So we'll see if that defense continues and if they can rack up some wins against these upcoming teams, man. See if they can rack up some wins against these upcoming teams. We got Isaiah, I seen, just joined us in the video chat. All right, we're going to check out Isaiah, see what he's talking about. I do want to remind you to subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell. You'll be notified whenever I go live or drop a video. All right, so make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. If you are not subscribed, Isaiah, you're riding in the dark, bro, but I'm going to go ahead and get to you, see what's popping with you, man. All right. Isaiah, what's good, brother? What's good?
Not much, man. I just, just left Dave and Buster's with the ladies, so I had a good time with that.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Game, though, so, I'm glad we got the win. I like the way Julius Randle rebounded. Marcus Morris, played good and everything. So, it's really good. It was a really good game. We beat a really good Pacers team. So we just got to keep the momentum going,
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, we were just looking at the schedule, the team's schedule, and they have some winnable games coming up. We'll see if they're going to be able to pull off those wins. Every time, we think the Knicks are in a stretch where they can get some wins, they have some losses that they should not have, right?
What, Sim, man? If I'm, what I'm doing is it might be corny, but I think it would be really good for the team. If someone, puts on the bulletin board 25 wins. Let's get to 25 wins this season.
Hey, goals, always set goals. And maybe they already have goals set. I don't know. But setting goals is always a good thing, man. Always a good thing to set goals.
Because I remember, during our season that we won 54 games, I'll never forget that Rasheed Wallace put on the board, let's get to 50 wins. They got to 54. So, you know what? I hope one of the leaders on the team, either, Marcus Morris or maybe Tyrese Gibson, be like, hey, guys, you guys are young. Let's set a goal. Let's get to 25 wins. And we could call that a successful season for the Knicks. Because, these last couple of seasons, man, we just been 17, 21, 20, whatever. We gotta let's get to 25 wins, man. I would love to see 25 wins.
Okay. All right. I would love to see it too. I don't know. But I would love to see it as well. You know what I mean? Listen, we got 3 more wins to get to 17. Let's get to 17 and surpass 17, and let's make that the goal. Let's get to 17. And then surpass 17 and then take it from there. You know what I mean?
Wait, do we got 3 more games before the All-Star break?
No, I'm saying we got 3 more games to get to 17 wins.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. But listen, I wanna get to real quick. I want to jump in and talk about the Westchester Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to start covering the Westchester Knicks a little bit more. So just as an introduction, we'll just look at where they are in the standings and take a look at their roster, right? Because I'm going to start covering them a little bit more, and watching what they're doing, because that's our training ground. That's the New York Knicks training ground. That's, we're trying to develop players in the Westchester Knicks. So I want to pay attention to them a little bit more. Right now, the Westchester Knicks, you see the G League standings in the Eastern Conference. The Wisconsin Herd, they lead the way at 23-7. You got the Maine Red Claws, they're 21-8. You got the Canton Charge, they're 20-11. The Delaware Blue Coats are 17-12. The Lakeland Magic are 18-13. Grand Rapids Drive are 17-13. The College Park Skyhawks are 17-15, and the Westchester Knicks are 15-16. All right, then you got the Fort Wayne Ants. You got the Capital City Go-Go. The Raptors 905, Long Island Nets, the Windy City Bulls, the Erie Bayhawks, and the Greensboro Swarm. In the Western Conference, the Memphis Hustle, they're number 1 in the Western Conference at 23-8. And you can look and you can see who's what. Salt Lake City Stars are 21-8. Austin Spurs are 17-13. Right? And the last team in the Western Conference are the Northern Arizona Suns, and they're 8-23. All right. And you can see along the side where it shows which teams each Westchester, which NBA team the Westchester, the G League team, is affiliated with. Right? So Wisconsin Herd is the Bucks. And I mean, look, they're 23-7. Good, just like the Bucks. The Maine Red Claws are the Celtics. Canton Charge are Cleveland. Delaware Blue Hawks are the 76ers. The Lakeland Magic are the Orlando Magic, so on and so forth. Right? So on and so forth. So let's take a look at the Westchester Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Westchester Knicks right here. Tickets are on sale now, so you can go buy some tickets and watch the Westchester Knicks game. And let me tell you, they're fairly inexpensive. So it's fairly inexpensive. You can go purchase tickets to the Westchester Knicks and sit courtside for $75 if you want to. You can sit behind the bench for about $30. You know, right behind the bench. First row, right there for about $30. All right, so go check them out. You know what I mean? You get to see Iggy play. You get to see Iggy play sometimes. You get to see Kenny Wooten, Kadeem Allen, right? Guys that you do see sometimes play for the New York Knicks. You get to see him play for the Westchester Knicks, so check it out. All right, let's look at the team's roster so you know who's on the roster. All right, of course, you know, we got Kadeem Allen. You see right there, he's on a 2-way contract. Tim Bond is a forward, 6'7" forward from Eastern Michigan. You got Iggy Brasdeikis. He's 6'6" forward from Michigan/Lithuania. All right, Josh Cunningham is a 6'8" forward. You got Tyler Hall. He's a guard, 6'5" from Montana State. Amir Hinton, he's 6'5" from Shaw University. He's a guard. Zach Irvin, he's a guard from Michigan. All right, VJ King. And let me tell you, I was watching, you know, when I went to the game, Amir Hinton, VJ King, JJ Moore, talk about him. These guys look good. All right, VJ King is a guard forward from the University of Louisville. JJ Moore, he's 6'6". He's older. He's about 28, I think, JJ Moore is. He's from Rutgers. Lamar Peters, I know people are anxious to see Lamar Peters play. 6 foot point guard from Mississippi State. You got Ivan Rabb still on the team. Remember, he had a 2-way contract. His 2-way contract was waived so that the Knicks can pick up Kenny Wooten. All right, but then he re-signed back with the Knicks. He's 6'10", from California. Andrew White III played for Syracuse. He's 6'7". Then you got Kenny Wooten, who's on a 2-way contract with the New York Knicks. He's 6'8", 235, played for the University of Oregon. All right, so this is what their roster is, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, I'm going to start having a section or, you know, just a little piece of what I do on the Westchester Knicks each night, you know, as we pay attention to what the Westchester Knicks are doing and how players are developing, you know, and things like that. You see the Westchester Knicks, their last game, they played the Long Island Nets, who are affiliated with the Brooklyn Nets. And I'm not going to click on watch the game because I don't want to get any copyright infringement stuff, but you can go to the Westchester Knicks website and watch the game all you want. Right? And as you can see, the games air on Twitch. You can go watch those games, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's take a look at the box scores of the game, and we'll go right down to the New York Knicks. We can see who's doing what. All right, so the Knicks, again, they lost to the Long Island Nets 116-111. Right, and let's take a look at what our guys did on the Westchester Knicks. Andrew White, he played 35 minutes. He had 2 points. Iggy Brasdeikis, he had 31 points. He was 14 rebounds and 8 assists. He played 40 minutes tonight. All right, that's Iggy Brasdeikis. Ivan Rabb, he had 23 points. VJ King had no points. Ivan Rabb also had 15 rebounds. All right, Tim Bond, he had 11 points. Tyler Hall had 7 points. JJ Moore, 23 points and 7 rebounds. JJ Moore is a baller too, man. He plays some basketball. Again, he's older. He's 28 years old. He's older. But he hoops. He hoops. All right, Zach Irvin, he had 12 points, six assists tonight, 5 rebounds, and Amir Hinton had 2 points. Josh Cunningham, Lamar Peters, and Kenny Wooten did not play. Kadeem Allen obviously did not play. Okay? That's just kind of, updating you on what the Westchester Knicks are doing. And, just to take a quick look at, who's on the Long Island Nets. You got Justin Anderson, Musa, Jonathan Kasibabu, Theo Pinson, Chris Chioza. I can't even say all these names, guys. Ishmael Sanogo, Deng Adele, CJ Massenberg, Devin Kennedy. And you see what these guys did. 12 points, 34 points. 12 points for Justin Anderson, 34 points for Musa. No points for Jonathan. 26 points for Theo Pinson. 15 points for Chris Chioza. No points for Sanogo. 10 points for Deng Adele. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue to follow the Westchester Knicks. I might even do a little show just for the Westchester Knicks. Or whatever it is. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I just want to make sure that we're updated and we know exactly what's going on, for the New York Knicks as well as the Westchester Knicks, since the Westchester Knicks are feeding into the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. All right? That's what it is. That's how it rocks. That's how we're doing it. But listen, I'm going to be out of here, folks, because it's 12:13. I'm going to get my rest. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on Sportscaster, the TBL on Sportscaster. I want you to check it out. I'm going to be calling the game tomorrow. I'm going to be calling the Albany Patroons game tomorrow. Now, I got to learn about these guys and who they are and all that kind of stuff. Learn their history, where they come from, and all of that. That's all good. That's cool. I want to make sure that you're there with me. You're joining me. All right? So I'm going to put my Sportscaster link in the YouTube chat so that you can follow me on Sportscaster. You follow me there. You'll be notified when I jump on to stream this game tomorrow. All right, sportscaster.com/NothinButKnicks. Want you to follow me there right now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it's the TBL on Sportscaster. It's live basketball, and it's free of charge. You don't have to pay anything. Live basketball. All right, so if you're just a basketball junkie, if you're a basketball purist, then you're going to want to jump onto Sportscaster. Check it out. All right, check me out as I'm calling the Albany Patroons. Okay? Check me out, ladies and gentlemen, on Sportscaster. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. You'll get a notification because I'm going to send it out. I'm going to send out the notification so you can check me out. But hey, if you follow me right now, and I'm putting the link in the YouTube chat, if you follow me right now, you'll be able to, you'll get the notification when I'm live. Okay? So I'm about to get out of here. I'm going to get some last words from my guys that's here in the video chat. All right? And then I'm going to be out, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make sure you guys enjoy that Super Bowl tomorrow. All right? So, let me get to these guys here. See what we got. Guillermo? Guillermo, what's going on, man?
Yeah, so I guess we have the Cavaliers on Monday. Look, I'm happy that we won. I want to see some of the other guys step up. I want to see Knox get out of his rut. You know what I mean? Still got to wait for Trier to play and stuff like that. So right now it's kind of weird. But what I want to see from Mike Miller in the first half, if you guys go back, there were sets where there's a lot of off-ball movement, which I was impressed with. I just wish we could do a little bit more of that, especially in crunch time. I just wish there was more confidence in doing that. But, it is what it is. Still got to see good defense, better perimeter defense from players. Guys like Oladipo, he was cold to start the game out. Say if he hit half of those shots in the beginning when he went 0 for 6 or 1 for 7, whatever it was, would the game be different? You know what I mean? So, again, good win. We talk about development and stuff like that. I just want to see more of it. I just want to see more of it from the coach because obviously the players right now, some guys are not going to be here next year. Some of these guys aren't the youngest. They aren't the young foundational pieces per se, but overall good win. Everybody happy Super Bowl. I hope the Chiefs win because I want Andy Reid to win one, but it should be fun. Take care. Salute to Light. Salute to Isaiah. He was in the chat, and salute to everybody in the the text chat. Salute to you, Sim, and happy belated birthday. Even though I told you, 5 times before, but again, happy birthday. Thank you for having us, man. Salute to you, man.
I appreciate it, man. And I'm rocking with the Chiefs too, man. I want the Chiefs to win too. I think the Chiefs are gonna win. Patrick
it's gonna be
Mahomes
fun, man, because it's gonna be a stupid offense versus a stupid defense, man. It's something got to give, man, because they both look good on those sides, man. And Jimmy Garoppolo's a good quarterback, and they also do have a really good running game. But it would be magical just to see, I want to see some last drive type of stuff, man. I haven't seen that in a while.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Nah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good game, but I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs, man.
Yeah,
Light. You want to give us some last words?
Yeah, like I said, as far as the upcoming games, I would just like to see hustle, effort. That's really all I'm looking for these days. I can't make any, I want to see Trier play, but I gave up on that. Like I said, I just want to see them fight. I want to see them go out there and actually play like they're getting paid millions to play. The Super Bowl ought to be fun. I would say I'm rooting for the Chiefs too, but I'm rooting for the Niners because I got a real close friend who's a Niners fan, and he ain't been able to see them win nothing in a while. So I gotta go for the Niners. And outside of that, man, it was just good to get a win and have a good night for once.
All right, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Stay up.
Peace.
All right. One.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely Super Bowl is gonna be fun, man. It's gonna have a good time. If you guys don't join me tomorrow as I'm on Sportscaster, remember 2:00. 2:00 tomorrow on Sportscaster. You get a notification. I'll send something out. In my community section. I'll probably do a little quick video to tell you to join me on Sportscaster. So hopefully you join me there and we just watch some basketball together, man. You're going to be able to watch it live. You're not going to have to watch it on anything else except for Sportscaster. You'll be able to watch it live, and I'll be calling the game. I'll have a little dot of me in the corner and all that. Should be cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. I will catch you tomorrow. All right. If you join me on Sportscaster, I will. If not, then I'll catch you after the game Monday. Peace.
That's the deal.